Hi and welcome to Jessie James Beads. My name is Jem. Today we're working with the Ombré collection, a beautiful graduation of colours in beads. This is the bangle we're going to make together today, and this is based on my Galatea Neptune's rings design, which I've been making for about 11 or 12 years now. This is a design which absolutely can be made by everyone. You don't have to be an expert wire worker to achieve this haloed design. Let's head down to the board to take a closer look, and then let's make one together. This is the strand that we're going to be working with today. It's all beautifully coated, gorgeous octagonal shapes ranging from this lovely rosy colour through this metallic, almost mystic topaz shade through to this lilac colour on the end. And the design we're going to create together is this bangle. So it is absolutely achievable, and I will take you through every single step of the way. Our first piece of wire is a round 18 gauge, and I've cut 14 or so inches of wire. This is probably a little more than we need, but it just gives us an opportunity to change our minds a little bit on how we finish off at the ends. Now this is a medium temper craft wire, and I'm just going to warm that through very quickly between thumb and forefinger. Now down at one end, I'm just going to put a very soft loop. This is just to stop the beads from flying off the end, which is something that once you've experienced it once, you don't want it to happen again. So just a very, very simple loop at one end, and I'm going to cut this strand now and then thread on the beads in their graduated coloration. So I'll just start off with one or two, and then I'll continue off camera because me threading beads is terribly boring. So let's start with one of those, and I'm just going to keep the graduation as it appears on the strand, and I'll join you back in a second when I've loaded all of those beads onto my 18 gauge wire, and again this is around about a 14-inch length. I've threaded all of those beautiful octagonal graduated beads onto my piece of wire, and there's a loop turned at either end just to stop them from sliding off should you drop this away from your workspace. Now I've allowed 14 inches of wire for this design because it should accommodate most wrist sizes. If your wrist or hand is much larger than that is, then you may need to consider adding just a little bit more wire, but if you take a look at that 14-inch length, it is quite a large size, so it should be okay for everyone. What I'm going to do is just very, very softly bring those ends a little bit closer together so that they cross over, and this will help me to anticipate how much of the surface of the wire I'm going to need to cover in wrapping. Now, as I have quite a small wrist, it's a 6.5-inch wrist, I have wrapped 4 times between each bead, and also 15 times at the end. Now if you have a larger hand, then you may like to consider wrapping 5 times between each bead, but I'll show you how to adjust that as we move through. So I'm just going to allow that to sit down on the table for a moment, and I'm now going to bring in my first section of wrapping wire. This is 20 gauge wire, and it's a medium tempered craft wire, and it's a 36-inch length. And just to make life slightly easier, I've very softly warmed it through and then just wrapped it around in this little semi-spool like arrangement just to keep it tidy. What I'm going to do is just unspool around about 6 to 8 inches, give that a very quick warm through, just once or twice is enough. And what we're going to do is have a look at our bangle. Now I'm going to start by wrapping around just about here, because I believe if I hold those two ends over each other, that's going to be around about the right size for me. So let's just take a little bit of an estimate. If I just pinch together the two ends and slide my hand on through, that's a little bit larger than I need, so I'm just going to bring those two slightly more over one another. That's going to be absolutely perfect. So I'm going to start by allowing around about a finger's width between that connection point just here. I'm going to allow the wire to come away, and I'm going to drop around about 6 inches over the top, and that's 6 inches or so at one end of that 20 gauge wire. What I'm going to do is just wrap around a couple of times, really nice and tightly, just to get a good connection point. And I'm going to give that a very gentle little squish just to bring that all together. So if you can bring that into quite a tight little coil and then use a diagonal squishing technique, you'll be able to make that nice and tidy, and it will sit basically in position. Now we've ascertained approximately where we need to start, and this will be fluid to begin with, so don't worry about it. I'm just going to straighten out my heavier wire to make it much easier to show you how to achieve the wrap. So don't worry about the tail of wire that's sticking over to one side. That's to enable us to do a little bit of infill later on should we need to. So if we take a look at the first octagonal bead, bring it up against the spiral you've just created, and what we're going to do is warm through the first couple of inches of wire. Now this is going to bang on things such as the lamp array and the microphone. Just hold that in position, and you can see that my finer wire, my 20 gauge, is coming off the top of that core. I'm going to pinch the bead into position, draw the tail all the way around underneath the core wire, and get that to circle around the outside of that octagonal bead. So it's come underneath that core wire. So what I'm going to do now is to wrap 4 times. Now this is going to be difficult to show you, but not difficult to do, because you don't have to worry about where the end, all of this stuff can just go anywhere when you're working on your own bench. So that's a 3rd wrap. And then I'm bringing that round for a 4th time. So we've got 4 visible wraps in between those 2 first beads. If it is slightly baggy, if your wrapping isn't all snuggled up next to each other, what you can do is protect your bead with your thumbnail, and just very softly, you can either push in from one side, now they're all nice and neat and tidy, just be gentle, and bring that all into position. So it really is a case of just doing the same thing until you get to the other end of your selection of beads. So I'll do one more with you, and then I will move all the way along until I reach the other end. So let's take that wire all the way around. And if you just take a look, if I give that a quick warm through, we're going from the top of the core wire around the same side of the bead as we did on the first one. Bring that tail of wire underneath, and I'm using my finger just to support that little wrap, that little halo shape, like Neptune's rings, and just hold that in position whilst we take the tail of wire over the top. We're going to wrap 4 times. Please forgive the noise on the board of that spool of wire. So that's 3 visible wraps and 4. So you're going to repeat that until you get to the other end of your beautiful ombre octagonal beads. So as I move on to the last bead in that strand, I'm just going to ensure, because we're working with glass, we need to be careful. I'm going to pinch very firmly on that bead, bring the wire around the outside underneath that core wire. So we're always moving on the left of the bead from on top of the core around the upper side to underneath that core, and I'm going to finish off with 4 wraps, exactly the same as I have done between each of those beads. We'll then just take a moment to assess what we've got. So we've got a strand of beads that have been wire wrapped into and decoratively wrapped onto a beautiful heavy strand of wire, and I have approximately the same kind of distance of wire left at either end, and that's going to be making our bangle really sparkly and beautiful. So what we're going to do is make sure that we've got 4 wraps on both ends. I think I only wrapped 3 times at the beginning, so I'm going to go for 1 more. And then I'm just going to make sure that that's nice and firm without risking my bead. So I'm using my thumbnail to protect that and just pushing that last little wrap up. Now what we need to do is to make sure that those beads are sitting nice and snugly in their little bead houses, and start bringing that wire to create a rounded form. Now I would do this by hand rather than using a form. Just gently bring that around, and we're going to start deciding where we want to join this bangle together. We've got wire at both ends, and this is just to make sure that we can cover any spots of wire that are left without beads. So let's just draw those 2 a little bit closer, pinch firmly, and then try that on the hand in question. So that looks pretty good to me. I might just pinch that ever so slightly closer together, and in the centre of that little gap where you've got nothing but wire, I'm just going to put some right angle bends. So I'm going to grip halfway across and bring one out directly away from the bangle, and then if I hold against the wire like so, allow that wire to spring away, and then push that one at 90 degrees opposing. And that's because we're going to mesh those together in just a couple of minutes. Don't worry overly about these bits of wire for now. All we need to do now is put a small loop on one end and we'll wrap that. Let's get that plier out of the way. You can go for either a small loop or a large loop. I think I'll use the small side of my memory wire finishing pliers today. Draw that wire all the way around and we're just going to create a wrapped loop. I'm going to wrap that around a couple of times just to get that wire out of the way. So let's bring that around once and twice. That's a really open wrap. I'll show you how to fix that 3 times. And then I'm just going to tidy that up and just let that wire sit. It's kind of annoying, but we'll get to it in a second. And then we've got an angle change just here. So what we need to do with the angle change we have at the other end, I'm going to again use the small side of my pliers, but I'm going to just make half of a round shape this time. And you can open out that loop that you made on the end because your beads are no longer at risk from escaping. So we'll just make that a little bit straighter. And then what we're going to do is to feed that through the loop that we've just created at the other end of the bangle, all the way around. So your beads might just get a little bit squishy for a hot second there. Once you have got those 2 pieces intersecting, and that's why those loops need to be at right angles, I'm just going to pull that wire all the way across. So because you made the first half of a loop, generally speaking, your wire's very polite and nicely behaved, and it will make that second half of the loop for you. So if I grip across that wrapped loop, and we'll go for 3 little wraps exactly the same as we did on the first wrapped loop. Let's tighten those up. What I'm going to do now is to trim those 2 pieces of wire to the same length. Let's just trim those 2 away. Using your flush cutters to get a nice smooth end. And what I'm going to do now is to continue wrapping until I've got the same number of wraps on both sides. Now this will add to the strength of the bangle, so it's quite a helpful thing to do. So I'm just going to do that and then I'll trim away and smooth it down against the surface of that core wire. So with the remainder of that 18 gauge wire, I've wrapped 7 times on either end. This gives us a really nice strong connection. What I'm going to do now is with each of the tails of the 20 gauge wire that we have left over, I'm just going to fill in the gap by continuing to wrap around. So you can just push that through the middle, even though we've closed up those ends, and just fill that gap. So keep going until your finer gauge wire meets up with the heavier gauge wire, and then we'll move on to the next stage. So we've wrapped together to meet in the middle just here, with the heavier wire coming from the loop and the lighter wire coming from the end bead. We're now going to cover all of that up with another layer of 20 gauge round wire. This is a gold colour copper craft wire, and I'm just going to smooth and warm through the first couple of inches or so. And what we're going to do is kind of unify this design just here. So if I add around about 8 inches over the top of the design, what we're looking to do is where we've got wire coming off the top of that core going out to one side, we want to have the finer gauge wire over the top but in reverse. So my finer wire is going over the top with the cut end coming away towards the loop, the wrapped loops where it's all joined together, and there's around about a 7-inch length just there. So what I'm going to do is to pinch that into position and just wrap over the top of our first layer. Now the first couple of wraps you do will just be a little bit slippery, so just pull that really firmly around. And then in a little while we'll continue wrapping with the tail of that wire until we fill in the whole of this gap. So you'll need around about 8 or 9 inches or so to achieve that. Now for the second layer of the Galatea Neptune's Rings design, we're going to repeat the exact same technique but just going slightly the other way. So where we have got the wire coming over the top of the bead just here, starting on the left on top of the core wire, we're going to push that around to underneath the core wire on the right hand side. Now it's just a little bit more fiddly, it's not difficult, it's just slightly fiddly. And when you wrapped 4 times on the first time that we wrapped around those beads, we're only going to wrap 3 times. So that might get caught up. If it does, just pull it all the way through. It's not a major drama. Then we're going to wrap a second time and then a third time. I'm just going to take a second to re-spool this section of wire. So I've just tidied up that wire into a slightly tighter spool. As you can see, I've wrapped for a second time. Push your bundle of wire up through the middle of your bangle and wrap for a third time, bringing that wire down. So again, we're starting on top of the core wire on the left-hand side. We want to push that bundle of wire through and up from underneath, so that the wire chases around the outside, underside of the bead, and then underneath the core wire. And then again, we will wrap 3 times. So just keep your tension up. That's a second time, push the wire through, and then there's a third time. And just as you go through, warm the first couple of inches or so, and you'll be able to go all the way around, adding a second layer of wire. Now these are glass beads, so do be mindful when you're wrapping around glass with wire. Just support your bead to stop it from moving, push the wire through, and pinch very, very firmly as you draw that wire around, and you shouldn't suffer any chips. So when you get to the final end of that section, just make sure that your wire is nice and tidy away, tightened up against that core, and you've got a nice little strong connection point and a bangle that fits over the hand easily. I hope that you have enjoyed the ombre bangle with those gorgeous octagonal ombre beads. Have a beautiful day.